All right, it's time to think spring. Lisa Briggs from the Brewers Company is here, and we're going to do a little planting.
Happy Cabbage Day.
Happy Cabbage Day.
I had no idea. And you know, you can be planting cabbage now.
Can you really?
Any of those things in the brassica family, it's time to plant.
If you have a question for a plant or garden question for Lisa, call now at 270-9933. Okay, so we can start now.
We can start, yes, there are certain things you can start now, other things you should wait. So things you can start now, all the brassicas, so anything in the cabbage family, slow-growing annuals, perennials, grasses. The only other veg you should be starting now would be hot peppers.
Okay.
Because you need a longer time to set those high Scoville units.
But the other stuff, wait a few weeks.
Tomatoes, you don't want to start till the end of March or maybe into April. A lot of those warm weather things can't be outside until after the first frost, or even can't be outside till the night temperatures are consistently around 50. That's a long time away, even though it's really nice out right now.
How do you get started?
Just use these little pots?
These are pots. These are peat pots. And what's really cool about these is they're made out of recycled manure.
Oh, so you can put it right in the ground.
You can put this right in the ground. It'll break up. So when you get started, you'll want a tray to hold your seedlings. And you're going to want some kind of thing to put the seedlings in. This is sort of these are called cells. Or you can use peat pots or Jiffy Pops. Those are the ones that the kids use because they pop up. You need really good seed starting mix, not potting soil, and certainly not anything that's like garden soil. It needs to be really well draining.
Do you need artificial lighting?
It depends. If you have a really sunny window, you can sometimes get away with it by just turning things. But if you have plants, like we started these for the show, so these are really stretched out. So these we have an artificial light over the light.
The Garden Expo.
Yes, yes, and then you need seeds, and this is fertilizer made out of fish.
It feels good just to see the green and to smell the plants.
Well,
it makes you feel ready for spring.
The thing about growing your own veg is that you get to control how it's cared for, what kind of fertilizers, chemicals, or lack thereof that you're using, and you get to control the varieties that you use. And there are endless varieties of, say, you like tomatoes. You're not stuck with the hothouse varieties that you can get at the grocery store, or even the maybe 20 or 30 that you find at the farmer's market. You can pick from hundreds.
And part of the fun this time of year is just going through the seed catalogs and dreaming.
Yes.
You ready for some calls?
Yes, let's go
Let's
ahead.
head over to the couch. We're going to take some of your plant and garden questions. The number is 270-9933. The call's for Lisa Briggs. Excuse me, Susan.
No, it's okay.
And if I can get here, and we will start with Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Barbara, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
What's your question?
My question is, my September raspberries had little tiny white worms in them. And so I had to cut everything just down right to the ground. How can I prevent it?
Well, you should always cut your September raspberries right down to the ground anyway. You get a much better crop that way. So you have the worst part of it done. You know, it's with fruits and veg, it's kind of hard because you don't want to use anything that's going to get into the vegetables or the fruit, because you don't want to eat that stuff. So the best insecticide for garden vegetables would be a thing called 7. And it has a really slow, quick release off of the thing. So a lot of times you can harvest within a couple of days of application.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Eleanor in Madison. Hi, Eleanor. What's your question?
I have a tree hibiscus, and I had to bring it in from outside, which I did. Now, what am I supposed to do with it other than that? When do I fertilize it, and do I cut it back, or?
You can certainly cut it back if it's getting leggy. You want to have it be in a really, really sunny window. And you wouldn't want to start fertilizing until you see new growth starting, which might be soon. So when you see new buds breaking and they get about a ½ an inch long, then you can start fertilizing with a nice kind of slow release houseplant for flowering plant fertilizer.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Vicki now in Jefferson. Hi, Vicki.
Hi.
What's your question?
I got an orchid plant a couple of years ago from my son for a birthday present, and it kind of looked like the one that's sitting right behind you on your table there. And I got blooms and everything. It was gorgeous, and then they kind of died off, and then it started to bloom again. So I got one more growth, and now the stalks are dead. There's no growth on them, so I cut them back like it said on the directions, but it hasn't done a thing yet. Right now, it's just I've got 3 gorgeous leaves on it, but no growth.
Well, we have a nice prop here. We don't usually have that. So once the flowering stems are cut back, the thing about this is a phalaenopsis or a moth orchid. They like a couple of things to get them to bloom. They like good, strong light, but not direct sunlight. So eastern window is super good. The other thing they like to set flower buds is to have it be warm in the day, but cooler at night. So put them by a window, especially this time of year where it's cooler. The other thing, some people use the flower fertilizer. So water, fertilize, water, fertilize. And it's a water-soluble fertilizer. You mix it up, and then when you water, you pour that through the root zone. Sometimes they don't need to be fertilized. Mine never get fertilized, and they bloom all the time. But light and cool temps.
This one blooms forever.
Yes, it does. And it's really forgiving about me messing with the leaves.
It's plastic. All right, we're out of time. If you're on the line, you want to take some calls off the air?
Sure.
All right, at least we'll talk to you off the air. Good to see you again.
Good to see you guys too.
Thanks for your calls, everybody.
Thanks, Spring. We'll be right back.